Before I dive into this video, let me just take a moment to say, Happy New Year, you lovely people. Thanks for tagging along, tolerating me, or, well, outright bullying me throughout my IDV journey. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Looking back, I made so many videos last year. Like, seriously, so many. Sure, I've been vibing with lore recently, but let's not act like my channel has any consistent theme. We've got funny moments, sassy commentary, lore deep dives, and then, a bunch of random nonsense I don't even know how to categorize. Basically, it's a buffet of chaos, and I'm here for it. Speaking of chaos, I thought, why not start this year off with something silly? So, let's talk about Squid Game. Yes, the cultural phenomenon that made us all question our childhood games. It's creepy, thrilling, and absolutely terrifying. I mean, who wouldn't be scared when a game of fun turns into a one-way ticket to the afterlife? It's play perfectly, or poof, you're done. Come to think of it, doesn't that vibe sound weirdly familiar? Yeah, it's rank matches in IDV. If you lose, it's not your life on the line, but your sanity? Yeah, that's gone. Same energy, isn't it? So, naturally, while watching Squid Game, my brain was like, wait a second, this is literally IDV with higher stakes. And then I thought, what if these random jackasses, survivors, took a shot at the iconic red light, green light game? How would that go down? Well, it might be as chaotic as you're imagining. And so, today, I'm bringing that beautiful mess straight to your screens. Buckle up, buttercups! This is your broadcaster, Somina, signing in. Our sweet, selfless Emily, bless her heart. If she ever joined the red light, green light, I bet she'd be absolutely toast. Why? Because every single doctor I've met in IDV has one universal trait. They have zero chill when it comes to rescuing. Like, girl, there's a mercenary right there, but nope, gotta be the hero. Gotta save the day, even if it means running headfirst into disaster. Try imagining this. Someone gets shot mid-game, and there's Emily, rushing over to patch them up like it's her sacred duty. Never mind the fact that this is a death match. She's over there doing CPR while the doll's head spins around saying red light. And of course, she only realizes what's up after a dozen bullets introduce her to the afterlife. Now, let's consider the other possibility. Emily's classic, I can heal myself's mindset. She keeps moving during the red light because, she can just patch herself up after being shot. But what she doesn't account for is the 20 riflemen waiting to turn her into Swiss cheese. Sorry, Emily, but self-healing won't save you from that firing squad. So yeah, let's call it what it is. Our dear doctor would absolutely get eliminated. But hey, at least she'd go out in style. Being her self-sacrificing, overconfident self. Gotta respect the commitment, right? Patricia is the menace of hunters, and honestly, she thrives on that reputation. Hunters hear her name and instantly start having flashbacks. She's the reason they lose sleep, and she didn't get to the top 10 most hated survivors for nothing. Nevertheless, in red light, green light, her abilities are practically useless. Well, as much as she probably wants to. She can't curse survivors, and there are no hunters around for her to torment. The only potential target for her curse would be the creepy giant doll. Now, if Patricia somehow makes it to the finish line, she could become the game's MVP. She'd curse the doll to prevent it from saying, red light, letting everyone waltz to safety like it's a casual afternoon stroll. Patricia means, take a bow. You're the hero we didn't know we needed. All hail Patricia. Margie's music box is a total game changer in red light, green light. The fast music box? Absolute gold. Anyone passing through its range gets a nice speed boost, which means they can zip past the creepy doll's field of vision and make it to the finish line faster. Team player vibes, right? But Margie doesn't just drop the box and leave. Oh no, she's twirling around like she's in her own little ballet, making the escape both stylish and effective. Unless, and this is a big unlesses, the player decides to drop the blue music box instead of the red one. The blue box doesn't do anything to the survivors, which is a straight-up troll move. Whoever pulls out this move's usually received a post-match chat full of death threats. In conclusion, Margie can be a hero or a menace. It's all in the music box choice. So if you play as her, then choose wisely. You're probably wondering, how does someone who's blind even play red light, green light? Well, my dear besties, that's the million-dollar question. I highly doubt she can win, and here's why. First, she's blind. Second, she can't see. Third, well, she's, blind. Now, let me paint a picture of what could go wrong. Since Helena's blind, she doesn't even know what colors look like. Her whole game strategy would rely on someone calling out commands. But let's think it through. What if someone says it's green light when it's actually red? Most players would know it's a trap. Helena? Well, she wouldn't have a clue. Straight shot to elimination. Now, there's a sliver of hope. If she teams up with players who aren't total jerks and they guide her along, she might actually stand a chance. Still, the question is, how often does that happen? I mean, whenever someone picks Helena in rank matches, half the team turns into bullies for no reason, especially if you get caught early and mess up the game. So yeah, Helena's best bet is teamwork. But that's a pretty big if. Not gonna lie, Naib's got a pretty solid chance at winning this game. As soon as the green light shows, he's out here using his elbow pad like it's a turbo boost, zipping through the map faster than lightning. Honestly, it gives him a major edge early on, and it's kind of iconic. In my imagination, the only way Naib could totally screw this up is if he forgets to turn off the elbow pad button right before the light turns red. Like, can you imagine? He'd be zooming straight into every rifleman's attention because his elbow pad is still in the active phase. Definitely a classic Naib moment. I mean, try seeing this clip, and you'll understand how he would mess up.
Oh, fuck this shit! We got a man down!
Heaven's like a coin toss. You either get the angelic helper or the chaotic demon. If he's playing red light, green light, you'd better hope for the angel, but don't hold your breath. His lasso could, in theory, help him zoom to the finish line by hooking onto objects and pulling himself forward. Problem is, the game has no conveniently placed hooks or trees. So, what's Kevin left with? Lassoing other survivors, which, well, doesn't exactly work as planned since he ends up pulling them along with him. Here's where the fun begins. Kevin can go full angel mode and use his lasso to help stragglers catch up, pulling them closer to safety. Sweet, right? Or he can embrace his inner demon and yank back anyone who's way ahead of him, dragging them into his misery. Talk about petty revenge. And if you're wondering which one I'd pick, oh, you know I'd pull that smug Luca who's halfway to the finish line just to watch him struggle like the rest of us. 90% of people who play Martha just want to live out their action movie fantasy, but only about 9% can actually shoot like a pro. The rest? Oh, they're out here hitting walls, fences, and maybe even a random Godzilla if it's in the way. Basically, they're trigger happy, but all they do is give the hunters a happy time. And to top it off, they've only got one bullet. Now, imagine Martha in red light, green light. She's hyped, ready to save the day, aims at the creepy doll, and then accidentally shoots Chi-Shi-Yi, Helena, or literally anyone except the target. Not only does this make the game overseer way too happy, but it also guarantees that every survivor is absolutely fuming. Honestly, with chaos like this, it's no surprise that we might end up with Hunter Helena. She must have a personal grudge to Martha for shooting her. Lucky Guy might have a shot at winning, but it all hinges on, well, luck. If he stumbles across a chest on the arena and finds something useful like an elbow pad or a rugby ball, he's got a chance. The problem is, there aren't any chests in this game, so yeah, his survival is basically a roll of the dice. Now, you're probably thinking, but Silmina, he's literally called the Lucky Guy, so he's gotta be lucky enough to escape red light, green light, right? Oh, sweetie, let me stop you right there. The only lucky thing about him is his team composition. If he's lucky, he'll have teammates who can carry him to victory even if all he did is waiting in front of the exit gate. But if he's unlucky, he could kite for 5 ciphers and still lose because his teammates are running on 1 brain cell. Honestly, it happens so often that I can't help but wonder if the NetEase devs were heavily drunk when they decided to name him Lucky Guy. Like, the irony is just too much. Norton is chaos incarnate in this game. His magnets make him a total wild card, either a hero or an absolute menace. Here's how it goes. He drops a polarity on the ground, and if someone picks it up, Norton can pull or push them. If Norton's feeling petty, he can wait for the red light, then activate the polarity to either yank someone toward him or fling them away. Either way, someone's getting eliminated, and Norton's definitely going with them. But Norton's got potential. If he plays smart, he can use the magnets to move faster or help others gain momentum. If he's trolling, though, he's the ultimate saboteur. Either way, you know it's going to be entertaining. His chance of winning, depending on whether he's feeling angelic or devilish. Okay, so, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure every rifleman is gunning for Freddy Riley right from the start. Like, doesn't matter if the light's green, or if Freddy's just chilling like a statue when the light is red. Those guys are shooting him regardless. It's giving personal vendetta vibes, you know? Jokes aside, Freddy isn't totally helpless. He's got this little advantage where he can spot every rifleman hiding behind walls. Like, good for him, right? And if someone gets shot nearby, he's not even flinching. Why? Because, duh, he's immune to terror shock in the game, so a little chaos in red light, green light isn't going to rattle him. Now, can he actually finish the match? That's where it gets tricky. He doesn't have any fancy escape moves, so he's kinda stuck relying on his skill, luck, and very careful movements. Honestly, knowing where the riflemen are isn't exactly speeding up his escape. Bottom line, Freddy's got a chance, but it's a coin toss. He's either making it out or getting sent to the afterlife. 50-50, babe. Just like Freddy, I'm pretty sure every rifleman hiding behind those walls has some kind of personal grudge against him. However, Kreacher's also a whole different story. This guy's got a serious shot at winning the game. The secret to Kreacher's success? His flashlight, of course. That thing is a game changer. All he has to do is shine it into the eyes of that creepy female robot, and boom! She's blinded. Can't see a thing. Can't detect movement. Nothing. Meanwhile, everyone else just books it straight to the finish line, and, you know, Kreacher's probably doing it while throwing out some cheeky emotes. Classic Kreacher. But here's the catch. He's gotta make it at least halfway across the map for this plan to work. If he gets shot before that, well, say goodbye to the dream, and good luck to the survivors, because they're on their own after that. Emma's totally got a solid chance at winning this game, all thanks to her shield. Like, when the game starts and it's red light, she can just straight up run forward because her shield's got her covered. Sure, if 20 riflemen decide to unload 20 shots at her, that's a bit of a problem. Her immunity's not that bulletproof. But still, one shot, one block, Emma's golden. The real trick for Emma is all about timing her bubble shield just right. Pop that shield at the perfect moment, and boom! She's free to move however she wants. Even if she does get hit, she can just play dead while her shield secretly saves her. And then, when the green light flashes, off she goes, running again like nothing happened. Basically, every time she uses that shield, it's like getting an extra life. Pretty awesome, don't you think? Servais Le Roy has a pretty solid shot at winning, thanks to his Kagebunshin no Jutsu, a move he probably borrowed straight from that Smurf ninja Dardo. With this trick, he can whip up a fake image of himself, and all those riflemen will waste their shots on his clone while the real Leroy sneaks forward. He would probably throw in a cheeky emote while doing it, by the way. Here's the catch, though. Leroy only gets 3 shots at pulling off this little ninja act. If the game drags on too long, he's gonna have to start relying on good old luck. Still, 3 shadow clones? That's a pretty sweet deal, and definitely gives him a solid ticket to the finish line, if you ask me. Well, if Kurt got thrown into the red light, green light game, he'd probably just tag along like everybody else. No special tricks, no fancy moves, just your average guy trying not to get shot. But honestly, I can't help but wonder if his whole turn into a hamburger thing would actually help him out. Like, sure, turning into a moving burger sounds sneaky. He'd be smaller, harder to spot, maybe even low-key adorable. But if I must say, I think the sharpshooters in this game aren't amateurs who picked up a rifle last night. These guys are professionals. I wouldn't be surprised if they nailed Kurt mid-patty flip without breaking a sweat. At best, Kurt's probably just gonna hang back, weaving between his fallen comrades like it's a post-apocalyptic tea party. Knowing some of his main are chill guys, I bet he'd probably sip tea even while the light's red, just casually vibing like, what's the rush? Mood, guys! She's got brains and a solid shot at pulling this off. Here's the plan. As soon as the game starts, she drops her doll and sends it straight to the finish line. Once it's there, Tracy can control the doll, climb up that creepy big doll, and poke its eyes out, or just block its vision. With the big doll blinded, Tracy can just run to the finish line like a boss. The only catch? Those sharpshooters might take out her doll before it gets the job done. Alternatively, Tracy could use her doll to stay ahead of her, protecting her or her teammates as they move. But let's be honest, it's still a gamble. The doll might make it, but Tracy might not. It's risky, but hey, that might be her style. Big brains, big plays, big risks. William might just be the fastest guy in the red light green light game, but does that mean he's guaranteed to win? Honestly, I'd say his chances are only about 65%. Let me break it down for you, besties. William's whole deal is running super fast, like he could almost dash straight to the finish line in one go. Almost. The problem? If that creepy doll spins around mid-run and yells red light, William's still gonna be caught moving, and worse, he'll be panting like he just finished a marathon. Either way, that's more than enough for the gunman to take him out. Now, his ability isn't useless. He just needs to use it smartly. Instead of trying to speedrun the whole game like he's late for a train, he should dash in short bursts. You know, pace himself a little. Remember, this isn't the Orient Express, and Agatha Christie isn't narrating. Chill, William. You'll get there. If you're looking for an easy win in red light, green light, Fiona's your girl. Seriously, playing her feels like cheating. All she really needs to do is chill and wait for someone else to reach the finish line. Once they're there, she just whips out her portal magic, gives them a call, and long portal express to the finish line. Easy win, right? But here's the problem. What if the person at the finish line decides to be a total jerk? Imagine Fiona politely calling them, and they're like, nah, not today. Now she's stuck, horrified, waiting for her portal cooldown to refresh while the clock ticks away. If she can't reach the finish line in time, and I believe she wouldn't, it's game over for Fiona. Off to heaven, or hell, whatever suits her vibe. This elegant queen isn't just stylish. She's a literal battle tank with her perfume. As long as she sprays it at the right moment, she can basically rewind time and avoid a gunshot wound. Like, she's out here dodging bullets with a spritz of perfume. Iconic. Though, her perfume doesn't exactly make her any faster at crossing the finish line. What really gives Vera the edge? Her simps, the Vera Nation Army. If she's serious about winning, all she has to do is summon her simps and have them form a human shield in front of her. These devoted bodyguards would happily take the bullets for their queen, no questions asked. It's giving Major Shogun with loyal samurai energy, and honestly, that's the kind of power move we love to see. Eli would absolutely thrive in red light, green light, and it's all thanks to his trusty owl. Picture this. He forgets to stop during a red light, but instead of getting eliminated, he casually summons his owl to block the shot. Legendary. Sure, the riflemen might have more bullets, but let's assume they only fire once. Boom! Eli's still in the game, and now he's the hottest commodity on the field. But it gets better. Eli doesn't have to keep all that owl magic for himself. So, if he's playing his cards right, every survivor in the game will be tripping over themselves to stay on his good side. It's giving King of the Squid Game, and honestly, we love to see it. Aesop is basically the game's undisputed MVP. With his ability to revive anyone, anywhere, at any time, survivors will practically worship him. Seriously, this guy could charge a premium for his services, and they'd still line up to pay. Imagine this scenario. Aesop makes it to the finish line and casually sets up his coffin. Now, whenever someone dies, he just revives them right there at the finish line. Instant win for his favorites! But let's not forget, Aesop's got options. Even if he's nowhere near the finish line, people will flock to him, hoping he'll bring them back to life. It's a sweet gig, even if they just end up dying all over again. Murro's boar makes him a strong contender for red light, green light. He can zip to the finish line in no time. But, and this is a big but, he's got to time it perfectly to hop off before the doll calls red light. Otherwise, he's toast. The downside? Murro's abilities are entirely self-serving. He's not helping anyone else cross the finish line, which means his teammates might hold a bit of a grudge. If he's the first to finish, you can bet the ones who didn't make it will have some words for him in the afterlife. Poor Murro, always stuck with the guilt complex. Mike's got the hops, and he's not afraid to use them. With his many jumping, he has a solid chance of reaching the finish line quickly. However, his whole strategy is a gamble. If he's mid-air when the doll calls red light, he's doomed. When that happens, well, imagine soaring gracefully into the afterlife mid-flip. Tragic, but also kind of iconic. Jose is a wild card in this game. His hypnotic ability could definitely mess with the riflemen, making them fire at his phantom self instead of the real him. It's a slick trick and could help him dodge a few bullets. The problem is Jose isn't invincible. If he messes up or gets caught by a stray bullet, he's out. His chances are pretty average, but his hypnotic flair adds a layer of unpredictability. At best, he's a clever survivor. At worst, he's a guy who put on a show before going down.